It's there! Holy moly, this one's gonna go big!
Hello and welcome back to the channel. Right, I'm going to give this a go. This is the first video that is being recorded on my new little setup in one of the spare rooms. Got myself a decent little laptop, well, for me and Mrs. Degsy to share really, but it will also hopefully give me the opportunity to make videos when the main lounge where my main PC is occupied. So I'm going to give it a go. I think I've got everything set up all right, so we'll have a little bit of Fruit Machine emulation for this video, and I'm going to talk about this machine that we've got in front of us here, which is Bonanza. Now let me just fucking do a bit of hang on there. There we go, planning and everything. So then, over at Desert Island Fruits there is a thread called JPeMu Conversions. Now this thread has been running for some 14 months already, and I believe there was an earlier version of it over at FruitEmu as well. But over at Desert Island Fruits here, wearecity has now got quite a long running thread where he has been doing sterling work going through the JPeMu back catalogue and systematically converting them using the JPeMu conversion tool. Now I'm not going to get too much into JPeMu itself here because I've got a whole video that I want to do about JPeMu, the JPM Impact Emulator, which was with us from 2002 to 2004 in development. And I'm really not going to go on about it in this video because I want to do a proper video on that like I did for BF Emulator. So I'm going to get straight to the point on this one because I'll do all the history on this and on JPeMu itself in a follow-on video. But what I do want to draw your attention to, if you're not aware of it, is that this thread is over at Desert Island Fruits, and wearecity and other members as well who have all chipped in to get these machines running properly in the current versions of the emulators. That is the main, let's just go through this thread here, because that is the main takeaway from this, is that a load of, as you can see, there's quite a bit of work here goes into some of them, where people are pinging back and forth on how to get these running correctly in the new versions of MFME. Wizard himself, of course, is active on that thread, as you can see. And we've got some great old layouts here that would kind of have been lost to the sands of time were it not for the work that's being done here. So I think it's worth drawing your attention to this if you are not aware of it, because there are a load of old layouts here that were originally made for JPeMu, which of course was primarily all about JPM and ACE, who used the impact tech for many years in the 1990s, and there's a whole raft of them that have been converted over here, and loads of great work in getting them running in a good state in the here and now. And that brings us to this machine here, which is Bonanza. This is a JPM machine from, I'm going to say about 1991, maybe 1992, that they released on the Impact Tech. This was one of my favourite machines to play in JPeMu because it was a fantastic. This was when JPM were basically at the top of their powers. I think Indiana Jones was already out. Roller Coaster might have already been out as well. But it was when they were on a really rich run with making pretty much the best AWPs in the business. And I remember this machine turning up in all the pubs of, you know, my old stomping ground, Ratcliffe, Bury, Bolton, North Manchester, and this was a machine that I really enjoyed playing. Now, JPeMu got a classic layout of this. One of the early layout releases for JPeMu was a very nice classic layout for this. And that's one of the reasons that I would fire up JPeMu over the years. I would fire it up from time to time just to play this machine. Even though JPeMu doesn't have any of the niceties like, you know, resizing and full screen and all that type of thing. So on a 4K display as I have on my main PC, you can imagine it looks pretty bloody stupid, but it was worth it just to play this machine. So you can see over at FruitEmu that there have been multiple layouts for Bonanza over the years, and it did get DX layout on JPeMu, but the problem was, if we have a look at them here, you can see if we go to that screenshot, this is the one, not the best screenshot, that's actually the one that we're looking at the moment. That was running on the £8 ROMs, and it did actually get, I think we can just about see it on this screenshot here. If you look closely, you can see that it's running on £10 ROMs there. So Bonanza started life as a £6 token jackpot machine, on which stake and prize, 20p play, £6 token jackpot, £3 cash repeater. At that stake and prize, it was pretty much the perfect AWP. The £8 inverted commas upgrade and then the £10 upgrade did it no favours whatsoever. And it's easy to see why. Looking at the layout of the machine there, and looking at the win progression, you can see there that once you start making the jackpot that much bigger, £8 and then £10, it starts blocking that a lot harder. And you've got a £3 repeater on the board there as well. Unusually for JPM, so £3 on the actual cash progression here. Normally, if you got to the £3, those 3 JPM symbols just on a normal win, that would be a £3 plus repeat chance, but it wasn't on this machine. You had to land on that £3 plus repeat chance square there. So what I did here is refer back to a post that wearecity had made where he had converted over that Bonanza DX for JPeMu, running on the £8 upgrade, and just asking if we could get it working with the £6 ROMs, because what I tried to do was bring over the £6 ROMs from the classic layout that we had for JPeMu, because they did work on the £6 jackpot, and load those ROMs into the converted £8 DX, which is running on MFME, and I was getting no luck with it. I just couldn't get the machine to boot at all. I'm not very good with the back end of the emulator, but I do know how to go in and change the files and change what ROMs are being loaded in. I tried changing the various stake and jackpot keys and that kind of thing, but got nowhere with it, couldn't get it to boot. And fortunately, Altered Emu very quickly stepped in and offered up some £6 ROMs that he said worked with this layout, and he was correct about that. The ROMs were runners, but having put about £50 through the bloody thing and not managing to get a £6 jackpot, I kind of thought, you know what, this thing is blocking token wins, and it really was blocking token wins. It would not allow me to get a jackpot. It would not allow me to get the end of the trail here. It wouldn't land on minor 49er here, which is a jackpot feature because it's 49 nudges. Nudges themselves, the actual nudge squares, were capping out at £3, so it was obvious that it was blocking token wins, and even I can go in and open the doors, and true enough, it thought that both of its token tubes were empty. So at that point, I posted those screenshots, and Wizard himself got back with a nice short solution there. Create checkboxes 65, 68 and 71 and check them. I can manage that in a layout, and that was it. Job done. Jackpot first board, said thanks Wizard. And then finally, after all these years, because this is the thing, I have been waiting to play this machine in DX form. See, I mean, I don't mind a classic layout. I am happy playing classic layouts, but I'll take a DX over a classic, obviously. And the other thing was that wearecity had only converted over this DX. If he'd converted over the £6 classic layout from JPeMu, I'd have been happy playing that. But since we'd already got this DX layout converted over, it just seemed worth it to go the extra stage to get the £6 ROMs running in this machine, thanks to the help from people over at Desert Island Fruit, specifically Wizard and Altered Emu there. We do now have what is, for me, one of the holy grails of fruit machine emulation, which is a DX layout of Bonanza running the original £6 token jackpot ROMs. Now, this is not the most amazing DX in the world, but it is going back many years. We don't even know who made this DX. As you can see, the perspective on it's a bit off. It's in completely the wrong cabinet. This should be in the Vogue cabinet, that famous JPM vote cabinet. So it's not in the right cabinet. The buttons are floating around a bit. It's like I say, it's not the best DX, but for me, this level of DX would be preferable to a classic. And of course, we don't even have the right decals because this is running a £6 jackpot. It's actually advertising £8 old cash there, which makes me wonder that logo itself may be a bit of a bodge job, or they may have been Isle of Man ROMs on the £8 old cash, because of course in the UK £8 was still a token jackpot. So there's a lot of stuff wrong with this from a DX perspective, but that does not stop it being a very enjoyable machine. So the takeaway from this video really is, if you're not aware of the existence of this thread, that is the JPeMu conversions thread over at Desert Island Fruit. It's in the MFME chat subforum. You can see it there. So this is basically giving you a way to play these old JPeMu layouts in the bang up to date version 6.1 of MFME. And for me, I thought, you know what, now that I've finally got this machine, a DX of Bonanza, running the £6 token ROMs, playable now with the niceties of MFME. So of course you get the full screen resize that I'm getting here. All the auto throttle and all that stuff works fine these days. So let's have a play of the game itself, because this is really the full fat amusement, the amusement with prize experience. So let's put a £5 in. And kick it off. Yeah, we got a little bit of sound. I've spent some time trying to get this laptop set up to do the recording here. Hopefully everything's going to be alright. Now, your basic goal here is to fill the Bonanza trail up, which will start the feature from there, or you can nudge in any of the wins here, and then it's not a guaranteed exchange. You've got to, the exchange point can vary, so it's not one of them where you always get an exchange after one successful gamble. It can kind of put the exchange wherever it wants. Now, the thing with this, because we've got a small jackpot, we've got a £6 jackpot and a 20p stake, it can and will do 3 holds, and holds after nudges for anything and everything, including your 3 red 7s there, which is the jackpot repeater. And I do remember very, very clearly when I used to play this, because this machine was popular. This turned up in a lot of pubs and arcades, and I really liked it. So I played this a lot back in, I am going to say 1991, I guess. If only you could see that little logo up there. Can you see there with the JPM logo at the top left of the machine? Underneath there is the year of release in Roman numerals. I'm going to say 1991, but I can't verify that. But I played this a lot in the pubs and arcades of Radcliffe and Bury and Bolton, and I always lusted after getting the red 7s, because that was your £6 token jackpot plus repeat chance. We didn't have the repeater on the £3 there, and the blue 7s, for a weird reason, the blue 7s just felt a little bit lost. Even though it was a jackpot, because it didn't have the repeater, I always wanted to do that extra push to get the repeater. And do note that the one at the end, now we'll just collect that there because we can get the bonus. The jackpot at the end of the trail is less desirable than the red 7s on the reels, because the jackpot at the end of the trail does not have a repeat chance. So it's a bit of a weird one, because let's just collect our bonus. We might get on the feature, and you can't slow it down. We can, so that's the weird thing about this. Slow down, we hit it anyway. Quite nice little soundtrack on this. So it's pretty weird in that your £3 there on the cash trail doesn't have a repeat, but your £3 on the trail does have a repeat. Your jackpot, your £6 jackpot on the cash trail does have a repeat, but at the end of the trail, it doesn't. Now, then, what's going to happen here is we move around the board. We've got this kind of Indian reservation here, and if you land, you can actually, if you land sort of here and then like a 9 or a 10, you can get straight through it without the Indians chasing you. But what normally happens, something like that, you land in the Indian reservation, and you can see there, this guy here is chasing me, and if he catches me, he's going to scalp me, basically. So what I can use here, you always start with 1 bullet. Now, it does like to kill you around here, so I'm going to use a bullet. And you see there, that's got rid of him, but every turn you get a fresh Indian chasing you. There's quite a few of them, so he's going to probably do a good rick here that they normally do now. So now what I've got to do is get through this broken bridge. So I've actually got to hit that. This is a true skill, so I've got to hit that when the bridge is in. There we are, so that's good. So I should be safe. I don't think he can catch me now with a 10. Now this derailed is the one. Derailed is crap, and gold fever is a collect prize. So we have got a gold. We can buy if we land on a gold nugget square. We can buy more ammo. I can't buy it at the moment because I'm not actually on a gold nugget square. Got to hit this again. There we go. I think that's another. Yeah, it's another bloody choo-choo train, isn't it? So let's see what it gives me here. Ammo. Now that's good. So what I can do here. It gives me some TNT. Now, watch this. What you can do with the TNT... What I'll do there is blow up the bridge and I'll kill him. So I got rid of the Indian and I blew up the bridge. And what happens is when the next Indian gets to a blown up bridge, it stops him for a turn. And he then has to spend a turn fixing the bridge. And we might see that now. So just watch what happens now after my rick. See there, he stopped at the bridge. It stopped him straight. Now, the problem is here, I'm going to get a stupid normal jackpot. It should be happy enough for a jackpot, but it is actually going to give me. So I can actually buy some ammo there. Let's just see how he... There we are. So he's repaired the bridge. We should be... Now, if I'm good enough here, I should actually be able to hit this on the jackpot. What do you reckon Degsy's chances are? I've got a bullet, so it won't kill me anyway, but I'm going to try and hit it on the jackpot. Oh, good job, Degsy! Good job! You see there, it explicitly gives you the blue 7. So the only way to get the jackpot repeat, and that's what we're going to try and do now. I think this should be happy enough because I put a fair few bob through it. I think we should see. I don't really want the board at this point. And I'm assuming, by the way, that this number's on 1 and 10. It's a 1 to 10 high-low reel. I would assume that it numbers as all JPMs of this era did. So if you see what I'll do here, I'm deliberately going to try and get myself killed here and not use my bullet. And what you may well, because it does like to catch you. If you don't use your bullet early doors, it does quite like to catch you. That can be okay. It's like a win picker thing. That minor 49er is the feature that you want here because that's 49 nudges, which is obviously a jackpot. 10 nudges not quite good. 2 quid off, just in case I can get a 1 and survive. You know, you probably can't want him to catch me. Actually, come to think about it. In fact, so if I miss that, and then he'll catch me up now, and I'll get scalped. And that's that. So what we're going to do now, I think, is just try and play for the jackpot repeater, because it will quite happily, you can gamble all wins as far as you want. It doesn't, there we are, 3 holds on melons. It doesn't auto-collect at 3 quid. It doesn't auto-collect at the jackpot, so you can gamble as far as you want. So what I'm going to do there is go lower than a 6. It's a bit optimistic. Nah, it doesn't really like you doing that. JPMs of this era didn't really like you doing that. So what we're going to do here is play for real wins, and we're going to see if we can just gamble out that jackpot repeater. I'm hoping that it'll be in a fairly charitable mood, because as I say, I did put a few bob through it, and there's no reason not to just hold things here. Just see if we can, and it will give us, and if we can get red 7s, in fact, let's just focus on red 7s. Just see there. Let's just see if we can get some red 7s, because it'll do everything. It'll do 3 holds on red 7s, and it'll do hold after nudges. We could maybe get a hold after. Oh, that fucked me there. I was hoping it would. So we'll get. Now I would not play it like this out in the wild. I would always take wherever I could. I would always collect the £3 repeater there, and I would always just collect a normal jackpot if I could as well. But for the purposes of this video, we will try and get the jackpot repeater, because there was nothing quite as good as those old jackpot repeater. How many nudges can we get? Oh, I haven't turned on blooming draggable reels. Degsy, you amateur. can't even see. Well, it's giving me lots of nudges, isn't it? Oh, no! Right, you know what? Let's fix that now. Oh. No draggable red. Fucking hell, Degsy, you amateur. Maybe, you know what? There we are. I may well have had enough nudges there to fucking... I could have probably done it on the fly. I don't know why I did that. I could have done that on the fly, and we could have seen what we had for our nudges there. But not to worry. We'll endure, and we'll try and get our jackpot repeater. Because I'm rather hopeful that this will actually have a jackpot repeater in it. Well, you never know, it can do 3. Oh, 1 hold for the bloody red 7s, type bastard. Now, this is not, by the way, I would not recommend playing the machine like this if you're going to get maximum enjoyment out of it. There are quite a few good features in there. War Party is quite a nice little skill-based thing. Bonanza, if you're good enough, and I might humiliate myself with that if I get the chance, it's a skill stop which you can take out to the jackpot repeater if you can hit it. But like everything else, for some reason, JPM chose to remove the whole cancel slows things down mechanic on this machine. So if you can't slow it down, but you can. So Bonanza and Minor 49er there are 2 potential jackpot features, and we've got our old friend Roundup, which is your standard kind of waltzer style feature, which JPM often do. Why am I doing so badly here on? I thought this machine should be ready for a jackpot repeater, but it doesn't appear to be. Okay, it has kind of just forced me into the feature here. I was trying to avoid it, but let's just see what it's prepared to do. Because if we can get round to Minor 49er, that will be a jackpot. It is showing 1s and 10s, but I'm not sure it was when I just last stopped the recording. So what do we want to 1, 2... You can, oh fuck, it's gone straight past it. You can hit it off the War Party, as best as I'm aware. I'll just deliberately miss that. As far as I'm aware, the War Dance square doesn't cheat you? We'll miss it again. There we are, so it's going to get me there. So if you can hit what you want off that War Dance square, it won't slip. It's like the skill stop on the old roller coaster, so it will always go 1 forward to start with, and it won't cheat you. As far as I'm aware, it won't cheat you thereafter. This is okay. I'm going to pause the video again. I've set myself oh, it's forced me into the feature again. Let's just see what we can get. So we're going to start the Indian. It's very rare, by the way, that you actually get through the Indian reservation without triggering them. Oh, I missed it there. I'm kind of just hoping the only thing I'm really after here is Minor 49er. Well, that was good, wasn't it? You'd probably get me now. Doink! There we are. Okay, we've got a hold after nudges for 3 quid here, and the number reel will go back to a 9, so we've got a chance. So we can gamble for a jackpot. Oh, it's just never going to let me have this, is it? Obviously, you wouldn't do this, and don't play it like this, but... Oh, we won! There we are. I'm surprised it let me have... Fucking hell, it made that hard work. Let's just see. It's an epic sample when you get a repeat. Come on, let's have a repeat. Ah, £6 jackpot repeaters. Come on, let's have another. It could certainly do 2. Oh, just the one. Just the one jackpot. I've lost a fucking fortune on this because... I mean, obviously you would never... Oh, I just thought it might give us a hold after nudges there. Obviously, you would never play a JPM like this. You wouldn't try and just force out the jackpot repeater there on the cash trail, but it is such a nice jackpot repeater. Just looking at the high-low reel there, I'm not seeing any 1s or 10s, which should... Oh, dear. Which suggests it's had it. I thought I had a slightly happier RAM file than that. I just saw a... Ooh. Oh, I thought I could get smart there with the holds. I did just see shall we just have one more feature? We'll have one more feature and just see if we can... I did see a 10 up there. Oh, look at that. Now that... There we are. Yeah, super nuts. So let's just be careful here because you can fuck this up. You can actually start the feature as well, which is... There we are. So there we're fine. I'm still down. I think I'll see how much I put in. I put more than that in. I can't see this one repeating, but I'd like to be proved wrong. Nah, that didn't seem very likely, that one, to be honest with you. And I think that'll probably be it. Let's just look at... I'm just assuming that this number's on 1 and 10. All JPMs of this era numbered on their extremities, as it were. So we could actually exchange there. The thing with doing that is the £1.20 exchange can be quite good. Oh, it's done the shit setup there. You can see there, obviously, the £1.20 exchange. There are lots of possibilities for it setting you up for either blue 7s or red 7s, but it hasn't done it there. I'll buy a bullet there. I'm going to need some bullets to keep these engines at bay. And I will use a bullet after this. We know there's not a jackpot anywhere close, so we'll use a bullet there. Still not... Oh, now we've got a war dance here. Now, this won't cheat you, but it goes very, very fast. There we are. So I can buy a bullet, which is good. I can buy another bullet. Oh, that was a... She's going to get 10 now. Oh! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't think it'll knack me on this. There we are. 10 nudges, half a chance there. Look at that, it's still stiffing me even on 10 nudges. We'll use a bullet just in case. He could potentially get me there. Gotta hit that. Oh no! I didn't count. I made the rookie mistake. What you're supposed to do there, it's going to give me fucking gold fever or something now. Oh no, hang on, right. So hang on a minute, so I can wedge it, and I'll wedge it to runaway train, and then I've got a bullet, so I just need to... In fact, I can do that, and now I can do that, and I'll use my bullet. There we are, and there's a jackpot right there. Just came back to me there. Another jackpot. Blue 7s this time, no repeater. So there we are. Well, we've got a decent bank in the end. Kind of a little bit of a lost treasure, this one. When you think of JPMs from this era, you know, name a JPM from this era, what are people going to tell you? They're going to tell you Roller Coaster or Indiana Jones or something like that, but it's worth remembering that this one is out here, and really all this video is about is just to let you know that there is that thread over at Desert Island Fruits. There are an increasing number now, thanks to the continuing efforts of wearecity and the community over there. There are now an increasing number of these JPeMu conversions available, which means that you can play them on the bang up-to-date version of the emulator with all the modern niceties such as full screen like I've got going on here. You obviously got your auto throttle and all that kind of thing. Draggable reels, by the way, was a thing on JPeMu. I think JPeMu actually had draggable reels first. And at the time it was a bit of a selling point, but of course draggable reels has been in MFME now for a while. I think that's probably had it now, so let's just see what my in-out stat... Oh, bollocks, it's not counting tokens. We haven't got a token meter. I think I collected 30 quid, didn't I? Put 44 quid in. So there we go. This video's longer than that as well, because I've had more than one clip. So that'll be it for this one. That actually went on for longer than I was anticipating. I do apologise. I'm really just as much as anything just testing this new setup and just to check that I can record okay on it. And I had it in the back of my head that I wanted to do a video about Bonanza because it is such a good machine, and you can grab that layout and the ROMs from over at Desert Island Fruits, and you can play yourself a £6 jackpot repeater DX of Bonanza in MFME, which basically up until last week when we finally got the ROMs sorted out and got them running in the layout didn't exist. So even though the various components have existed for years and years and years, up until now, you have not been able to download what you can see in front of you here, which is a DX of Bonanza running on MFME with the £6 original token jackpot ROMs. Do yourself a favour and have a go at it, because it's a brilliant fucking fruit machine. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this video, and I will catch up with you next time. But for now, it is a goodbye.